In. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man. And today, we're going to make some more progress on putting the 1855 back together. I got some more stuff in the mail, including this handy little fitting, which will take the place of the compression tube style that goes to the line that pressurizes our 3-point hitch and remotes. So I'm pretty excited about that. It wasn't cheap, but hey, it's a lot better. So we'll put this in real quick, and then we'll go on to the back end and trying to reassemble all of our cover and components that we had to take off to get that bolt out. So here we go. Okay, and we'll get our fitting out of there. You see, this is so difficult because I put the step back on that I told you I took off because my fatness was making it impossible to get in here. And now we're right back to square one on that. But hopefully we're about done here. There, I think we got it loose. There. Let's do a side-by-side comparison and show you how these are made. Here's the original style, which is a piece of tube, and it uses this nut to compression this seal down in there, and it seems like no matter what you do, that eventually will leak. So I'll show you the original one too, because I never throw anything away. So I've got the hose that I took off of this tractor, and here you can see the original style, which has a 90-degree piece of tube made on it and the same style compression nut with washer. So that was the original way, and it just seems like no matter what you did, they would leak. So now we have this fitting, which came from Maybach, and I believe it was a Chris Losey invention, but it has a O-ring recess made into it, and it's just a single piece turned fitting, and this way you don't have anywhere that it can leak unless this O-ring is bad. So I like this idea a lot better, and it adapts it straight away to JIC without any other adapters or anything. So we'll put this in and see how this holds up for us. Well, that's a lot more slick than the way it was. Now the trick's going to be if we got enough room in our 90-degree hose to go around this, but hopefully we do. So it hinted at the idea that it was wanting to cross thread, and I said no because you're a $46 fitting and we're not having that. So I wedged my fat self under here between the step and the tire, and hopefully now I can get back out again and do some more on this video. But we'll admire this while we're down here, and it's a lot better than the original setup. I like it. I think it's going to do good for us. But this is quickly becoming a project of where do you stop, you know? The more you look around, the more stuff you find that probably should be addressed, but I think we're just going to ignore all that and move along with our lives until we have to fix some things, because, you know, it crossed my mind, like, why not? I'm sure they make a fitting now for the hose that comes from the pump. Do we address that? I think we just leave that alone for now and don't bother anything else. Just don't look at it. Look away, don't touch it, don't breathe too hard near it, because we need to move on and get some stuff done. So we'll leave this for now, and hopefully that's everything we need to address while we're under here, and we can get back to our topside project. So here's my new gaskets for the lid, and these are the good ones. They're Das Original, so you know, with the German technology built into them, that they're good. But we're going to take a look at this check ball in the servo valve as promised, because my 3-point hitch arms would drift down overnight, and we're going to see if there's something in here or possibly a broken spring. I've got another spring and ball just in case, so we will check this out and see what we got. It could be something as simple as a piece of dirt or something under there. And it could be that this entire thing is garbage. So, well, there we have a spring. And what we got here? Whoa. There's a ball in there. Come on out, ball. There we go. Doesn't look like it's got, well, now it's lost, so we'll replace it. No, here it is. It doesn't look like it has any marks or anything on it, but I don't know. We'll take a look down in there. We'll use a magnet here to hold stuff for us. Everything looks good, which I guess could be good or bad, because I was really hoping to see something in there that was causing my problem. Well, for now, we'll probably just go ahead and reassemble, and we might even put in the new spring and ball. I don't know. It actually feels like the old spring is tougher, but that might be my imagination. We'll blow a little bit of cleaner through there and maybe put our new ball in and see if that gains us anything. So while I was doing this, the spool fell out and got dirty, so I got to clean that up. But while we're talking about that, I guess before I set it aside, these spools, just like what you would have in a other hydraulic valve, like for your remotes, are matched to the bore that they're in. So if you're going to do multiple things that are alike at the same time, do them one at a time, because I've seen these spools get switched around, like in remote valves and, I don't know, power shift valves on orange tractors, and they will leak, and then you won't have good performance, even if they don't leak out where you can see them. You just don't want to do that. I know we worked on I think it was a 7000 Alice Chalmers, and they have a 3-speed, power shift more or less, and the hydraulic valve has 3 different spools in it. And anyway, the tractor was never right since the guy bought it, and we ended up taking it apart and figured out that 2 of the spools had gotten changed around. They were close enough that you could slip them into each other's place, and it did not work the way it was supposed to. But when we put them back the right way, it was fine. So these are match pair. If you've got a problem, you can't really just replace a spool. You need to replace the whole thing. So enough of that sermon. We'll put the check ball in now and put this back together. Oh yeah. That's what happens when you're an idiot. Because I have it upside down and backwards, see. There we go. Well, you can't see anything I'm doing, but okay. Okay, now you can see underneath here, we've got our O-rings, which are totally flat. So we are going to try to find some to replace it. I ordered some, but they never made it. So we're gonna go ahead, and I'm pretty sure I have some on hand. So we'll do some digging and then change those out, because if I can get my pick here where you can see it, which is nice and clean as well, I see. There you can see an O-ring that is no longer round. It is totally smushed flat from being in there since probably new. So we'll change those out. I suppose those could have also had something to do with our problem, although I doubt it. So I'll try to find some new ones there, and then we'll reconvene here. Well, I think we got everything ready to go back together. We have our new O-rings put in our servo valve, and it's tightened down. We've got our cap tightened back down on our check ball. We've got our E-clips in our linkage. We've got drain line put back on, and we've got our new gasket in. So now all that's left is to put the cover back on, and we got to get this lined up with our restrictor there. That shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to go ahead and probably reuse this gasket and just put some sealer on it. It looks pretty good. So we will get started on that. So we got the lid on. We're making progress, and we're almost back to where we were before this happened. So finally, I think we're on the downhill slide. I'm probably going to not put all the sheet metal back on until I am sure that everything isn't leaking, and I also want to power wash all that crap off of there, and I'll have to remake my bracket for this and do this all over again. But otherwise, I think we are in business. So at last, I'll show you this. This is one of the other bolts that was right next to that one that twisted off, and it doesn't look like it's in very good shape. So I did replace any of the bolts that looked questionable with a new one. And I also did something I don't normally like to do, and that's use a little bit of anti-seize on this long shaft part. I figured that in this case it might be a good idea to have something in this area so that this doesn't happen again. But time will tell on that one. So I think I will go ahead and put the hydraulic oil in. I haven't gotten the T yet, but it shouldn't be a problem because the oil level will be lower than the T, so I think it'll be fine. But we'll go ahead and put this in there, and then we can check and make sure that nothing that we've disturbed is leaking from gravity, and then if it is, we'll address it then. Normally I would just use that little pump that I've used on the other videos, but I think today I'll just pour it in out of the bucket. It'll probably take a little bit, but that's fine. now we got the oil in, and we don't see anything physically dripping. But before we would ever start the tractor, which we're not going to do today, we need to bleed the air out. And that is right here at this little valve. So we'll open it up, and we will just let nature do its thing with gravity, and hopefully the air will come out. And then once we get everything else put back together, we may have to bleed it again. I don't know, but anyway, this is the next step after you change the filter. You can hear the air hissing out. And usually when you get a steady stream, that's when it's time to close the valve. We'll move our bucket back under here just to be sure that we catch whatever drips. It'll take a little bit, maybe, sometimes. It's got to fill all of this up again, you see. Get rid of the air. And we replaced, you know, we had more stuff apart this time than you usually would, taking a filter off, so it'll probably take a little bit. There we're getting a drip now. We'll probably call that good for now. We'll close her up. We may have to re-bleed it again later, but you don't want to have a tractor running while you're bleeding it, because you'll actually probably suck more air in than you will get air out. So we'll leave it at that for now. And everything should be full down here on the lower end now, filter and everything. So we'll know soon whether we did a good job, because before it seems like it was leaking just sitting here. So hopefully now it'll stay dry. So I didn't get any footage of it, but I decided to go ahead and slap the seat back on there so we can move it around. I'm not going to put the floor or any of that stuff back until I take it up and pressure wash it. But anyway, I did also make some little doodads there to hold my new style, original style, I guess you would say, hydraulic cover plugs. So I'm happy with how that turned out. And then I thought, hey, extra hole here. So I made myself a little bracket that I can mount my cords for my monitors. So hopefully that'll work out like I think. And so that's where we'll leave it this time. And hopefully my fitting comes in the mail soon, and we can get this wrapped up and actually hook it to the planter and see that everything's working like we want it to. So once again, thank you for watching my videos. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, that helps me out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.